Well, it's been a while since we made a video to tell you what we're doing and what our life living in the van is all is going like, and what that's all about. But we've had a really bad 3 weeks, really stressful and really sad, haven't we?
Yes, it was. It has been very sad, but yeah. Well, it just started with in Sweden they celebrate midsummers, and you collect wildflowers and you decorate a well, it's like a maypole thing, much like in England, and you make headbands out of the wildflowers, and just part of the midsummer celebration, which is as big in Sweden as Christmas. So Pippin and our grandsons and my daughter-in-law, we went to pick some wildflowers, and so of course it was quite a nice afternoon, so we let Pippin off the lead, just because she was just sniffing along the path edge, and then all of a sudden she cried and she came hobbling back up to the path.
She never cries out in pain.
No.
Ever, even if she's, if we like, maybe when we're cutting her nails and or brushing her roughly, she never makes any noise at all. She's so tolerant of any sort of pain that goes on. So yelping for her must have been such an awful thing.
Yes, and she hobbled back to me, and I quickly picked her up, and I thought, oh, she's been stung by a bee. So I looked in her foot and I couldn't see anything, and my daughter-in-law came and we both helped, but it seemed to be her leg as well, and I thought, oh dear. And then she just lay down, and I thought, oh, this is really bad. And then I thought, she couldn't have broken it, because it was she hadn't been running or doing anything. So I said to Elika, look, I'll wait here with her. She can't walk. I'll wait here while you go and finish collecting the flowers. But after a couple of minutes, I realised this is very serious. So I phoned you, didn't I, to come?
I was back at home, not far away, like 5 minutes in the car, because I was doing other things.
You didn't want to go and collect flowers.
DIY, and plus I didn't want to go and collect flowers. So I came round in the car thinking, oh well, another trip to the vet. Okay, so we went to the vet, and Wendy took Pippin in, and after a while, they got taken through to the vet, and she was X-rayed, wasn't she?
No, well, the first thing was, they said, okay. I said, look, I think she's either been stung. I said, oh, is it possible she's been bitten by a snake? I said, because I'm worried something's happened to her. So she said, okay, take a seat outside, which is what you do. Anyway, and after 5 minutes, she was like out of it, and I rushed in there. I said, look, a vet's got to see her now. I'm afraid she's going to die. I get so anxious. So they did. They rushed me into the room, and they thought, well, I don't know why, but they tried to say that they thought she'd had broken her elbow joint in the front there, and I thought, well, she's not.
It was a weird thing.
Yeah.
Well, they X-rayed it. They said they thought they could see a small fracture on the elbow.
They rushed her. They rushed her
so
to the
they
X-ray.
just rushed it through, and they said, we can't deal with it here. You have to go to a hospital
straight away.
So they phoned around because it was midsummer. It was like a bank holiday, and they said, "Oh, you can go to Uppsala to the university hospital, which is 60 kilometres away from where we were." So we, and they didn't. They said, "Oh, it's a broken bone, but they'll need to deal with it. Might need an operation," and they didn't impress any urgency.
They gave her a painkilling injection, but she was like heaving and panting, and I thought, my goodness, she's having a bad reaction to this. I knew there was something seriously wrong, so we just drove there quickly. And
we drove there quickly, but it wasn't we weren't
told that
we
they
weren't rushing.
No, I think
because
they
we
knew
thought,
it
oh well,
was.
yeah.
They knew it was a
Anyway,
snake bite, I'm sure.
We got there, they were
Yeah.
expecting us, and we checked in at reception.
Just a minute, was
We're taken to the side, to the entrance to the vet's area, and 4 vets came out, didn't they?
Yes.
And what happened next?
they just took her off me, said we need to borrow a minute, and they just rushed and ran down the corridor with her.
So they effectively grabbed.
Yeah.
They said, "Can we borrow your dog so we can
Yeah.
look after her?" Because they're Swedish, they're trying to speak English, and we said yes, of course. So we handed the dog. They grabbed her, turned and not rushed but ran. They ran through the double. It was like an episode off of the emergency room TV programs and it was like, oh, what's going on? And then another vet that was just going off duty came and spoke to us. She said, well, I see you looking a bit distressed, and don't worry, we're rushing around like that so that we can give your dog the best attention. Well, bloomin' hell, it was a snake bite. She'd been bitten by an adder, and at that moment, I think if we'd have left it for another half an hour, she would have died.
Well, because we were sitting outside, I was crying, and I thought, that's it. And the vet come out and said, yes, we're struggling. Her veins are closing up. We're trying to get an anti-venom line in. So we keep you informed, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Veins closing up, organs shutting down.
Yes.
And we're thinking,
Oh, God.
well, she's only got one kidney as well. So, really, really stressful time. We were, so distraught, really, both of us. Well, we were advised that, anti-venom, touch and go, but we wouldn't know until tomorrow. So we had to leave her in the emergency. She was in intensive care, and it ended up being intensive care for 5 days.
And she had to have some more anti-venom. And of course, fortunately it started to work, but
Yeah.
she wouldn't eat or drink anything unless she wouldn't pass urine. And so they said, please come up. We wanted to anyway. Please come up and visit us, if you can take her outside. And it was just the most wonderful moment when I saw her again.
The thing is that when she came out, okay, she was still really ill, so they were saying, look, don't let her off the lead, keep her on the lead, keep her tight, don't let
Just
her run around.
carry her to the grass, didn't they?
Because it was like, if you start the venom going around the blood system again, she could just like fall again and go. But we managed to convince her to go to the toilet.
Yeah, because
she hadn't been
I don't know.
for like 3 days at this point. She hadn't been to the toilet for 3 days. She hadn't eaten anything. But
I know she'd been ill, but
the time she went going to wee was like, lordy, this is unfeasible amount of wee coming out of a little tiny dog. So that was a good sign, very good sign. So we're, another 2 days. But then,
and we'd got some little tins of pate from Spain, and she loves them. So I brought one along, and we diluted it with a bit of water, and she lapped that up.
Yeah.
And that started her. She was really hungry then. I think it was just because she was with us, and she felt so much better.
But you can see now that she's got this collar on to stop her chewing at her bandage. This is the leg she was bitten on.
Yeah.
And it swelled up
And
twice that size.
And unfortunately, it killed all the skin on the leg.
So on the
yeah,
inside
yes.
of her leg, all below her elbow.
What do they call that word? It went all black. What do they call that thing
necrosis.
Yes, that's how it went.
It's like the skin is dead.
And
Because of the snake bite went in there. And all around the snake bite just started to die off, and it spread. Some of it went back to pink, but then it died off again. And the wound is like the whole length of that bandage. So it's about 3 or 4 inches long, isn't it, the wound? And it's like if you had all the skin scraped off of your arm. It's just the skin, not the flesh. That's what it would be. So she's had this bandage on for the last week.
No.
Hasn't she? 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when she came home, she had the bandage on.
Because she was on antibiotics because it got infected, and they said, "Oh, we think the leg will survive. She might lose her nails," and of course the effect of it doesn't show for 2 or 3 weeks. It could have affected her heart and her liver and kidneys. So she had blood tests, but fortunately there's absolutely no problem there. And we truly believe she's not going to lose her leg because it is healing. They did an operation and they removed it, but they can't stitch it because it's too big.
There was one point,
yes,
which they said, we don't think we'll have to amputate her leg, but can you sign this form to say that we can if we need to? So we had to, because every time we went there, we had to sign a form to say that we were happy for the vet to do whatever they wanted to do with her while they had her. Bearing in mind, it's a university veterinary hospital, so it's a teaching hospital.
Yes.
And they have provided the most wonderful care for her.
Yes.
I will say, we have insurance, but the insurance is only covering. We're covered for up to £3,000, but that's only half the bill.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't not pay.
No.
So we've had to pay the bill up front.
Yes.
And then we're going to claim half the money back, the £3,000 back. So,
The other thing they're putting on the wound is Manuka honey. So
it's
quite interesting. That's what they do. They told us that's what they are putting on it.
They put Manuka honey on. So we bought some. They suggested that we could start to dress or redress the wound ourselves. So we bought the cotton wool that they use and the I don't know what that it's. It's a stretchy.
Yes.
It's a stretchy sort of crepe type bandage that clings to itself, and some Manuka honey ointment for her. So
we
no expense spared.
No, we're going back next week. We could been going every week, and they change her bandage and assess it and
driving the 60 kilometres there and back.
And she's quite a unique case, so she's on their, I don't know if it's Instagram or website, there's pictures
on
of
their
her.
website.
So,
and what did the vet say? Like when we went there yesterday to get this lovely bandage on. You see how they did it? They love her so much, they put a little flower on. Well, what did the vet say to you?
She said, she's the most loving little dog I've ever seen, and I would like to take her home with me. So that made me so proud of her, because she's very brave. She doesn't need, she's so kind, when she has her dressings done, and that they have saved her life. So we are now very, very hopeful. We don't keep this on all the time, but she will pull at the bandage if we don't. And we've also bought a boot if it's wet out. So we've got every hope now that she's going to be fine, and so we are very grateful to them. But we never we're in Sweden, of course, and things are a different price here, aren't they?
Different price. Yeah.
So,
anyway.
So there we are.
She's fine and dandy now.
Yes.
She limps a bit still.
Yeah, she limps.
And the skin has to grow back over, which we hope it will. But we just thought we'd give you a bit of an update because we've not been able to make videos. We've been very tearful this end. and
Worried.
very worried. But, you know.
But the thing is, I didn't
little
even
bit
know there were
right there.
poisonous snakes in Sweden.
No.
Never occurred to me. But it is the adder, and I mean, it could happen to any country you're in.
Mm.
And another thing to note is most dogs don't recover okay, but a rare few need to have the anti-venom, and it's not licensed in the UK, so most
No.
vets don't carry it, and maybe they have to send off for it, or I don't know what happens. But that's why the vets we first took her to couldn't treat her, because they didn't have it.
They don't have the antivenom.
No.
It's not available everywhere.
No, it's not. So
there you are.
So she was just... Well, she was unlucky that she reacted so badly, but she's lucky they've saved her life, so... Yeah.
So there you
It's
go.
all a happy ending.
Pippin's
Yes.
alive,
Well.
and we're a bit happier now
Yes.
than we have been over the past few weeks. So, but we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bye bye for now.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.